how I did this was I got glue and cotton balls, so you don't really need latex for the special effects. Just glue will do fine. So you apply the glue, then the cotton ball, and now I'm going to apply some foundation. Applying the foundation will kind of make it look like it's your skin, so just make sure you add like a really good layer. And I'm going to first use like a stippling brush to kind of like pat this into my skin. And I'm going to be very careful. Around the areas where we put the cotton ball, I'm going to do patting motions. I'm not going to rub on it just because I'm still letting it dry a little. I'm going to grab kind of like a brush that looks like a paintbrush, and I'm going to apply some of the foundation, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter in shade 6.0. And with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the actual cotton ball things and pat it into place. I feel like the foundation doesn't really have to be as perfect as you would normally do it for. Now I'm just going to use the extra foundation on my lips just to give it the illusion that I have no lips. With this loose face powder by Airspun, I'm going to use this to set my eyelids just because I am going to be doing some eyeshadow on it in a bit. And this is just going to, since we applied foundation on our eyelids, this is going to help it not crease. And it's also going to help with blending out the eyeshadows a lot better later. I'm just going to get the whole eye situation taken care of, and I'm going to zoom you guys in. I'm going to focus on my eyes now, and I'm going to just grab a flat brush. From the Androgyny palette, I'm going to use the shade, this little shade right here. It's called Dominatrix, and I'm going to apply that on the outer portion of my eyelids. Don't really, right now we're not going to really focus on blending out and making it look seamless so much. I want to focus on just adding the shades into my lids first. I'm kind of bringing it in a little bit to give it that like fading effect. But we're not blending out yet. We're not blending out yet. We're gonna use a shade, the shade Androgyny, and it's like it's a purple shade, and it's really pretty in my opinion. So with the purple that I just showed you, we're going to add that again on this side, on the center of our lids. I'm not gonna go entirely into the inner corner of my eye because I want to add another shade there, but make sure you get as much pigmentation as you can, which is why I'm kind of using like a flat brush. And now for the center of the lid, we're going to kind of create like a cut crease right there. I want to go in with this blue glitter. It's by NYX. It's in glitter 03. And all I'm going to be applying this on my inner corners where you kind of see I left space. And I'm going to try and be very careful just because glitter is so messy and it gets everywhere. I'm also going to be using the eyelash glue. And I'm just going to place that wherever I want to put the glitter. Try not to close your lid. Same flat brush that we use the purple shade for, I'm just going to grab a little bit of that glitter on the brush. And we're just going to use patting motions. I'm going to try and be very careful so I don't get any fallout on my entire face. So now with another flat brush that looks kind of like this, I'm going to grab the purple shade again, tap off the excess, and I'm going to put that above the glitter. And now the brush, we're going to use the first brush we used on our eyes, and we're just going to try and get rid of most of the eyeshadow on it. And we're going to use this on our outer part of our eye, and we're just going to use that to blend it out and make everything look very good. I guess I couldn't think of another word. Hello. Okay, and this is the eye look. So now I'm just going to repeat those same steps on this eye. Okay, so now we're going to fill in the eyebrows really quick. They should be the easiest step in my opinion. I feel like one eyebrow always comes out darker than the other one, but maybe then again that could just be me trying to make it as perfect as possible. Alright, that's as good as it's gonna get. Alright, since I don't have a red eyeshadow, well I do, but I don't want to use that yet. I'm gonna use this. It's really old. It's the Tarte Natural Beauty Natural Cheek Stain, and I'm just going to be applying this on the areas where I did the glue and the cotton ball. And all I'm going to be doing is pressing on to the very tops of it. All you have to do is press on it. It does not have to be perfect at all. And that's the first step. And now we're going to add some shadow in here. I'm going to use some black eyeshadow. Any black eyeshadow, to be honest, is going to work perfectly fine. And I'm only going to add that on the sides of each cut. And repeat the same step on the upper parts. I'm going to get a very fine little brush, and I'm going to use this red liner from the Kylie Jenner lip kit. It's Mary Jo K, and all I'm going to be doing is rubbing some of that onto the brush and just applying it on the edges as well, or like the areas where we added way too much black and it looks too dark. Now we're going to go in with red shadow. It's not really so red. It's like burnt red kind of shade. It has a little bit of sprinkles on it, which I'm not a really big fan of right now. It looks kind of like this. So we're only going to be using a little bit of that. Don't dab so much onto it. And we're going to be applying that on our lower lash line. And bring it down. I'm going to be grabbing this again, and I put it on a little thingy. And I'm going to grab that fine brush that we were using earlier, and I'm just going to kind of swirl it and mix it, because this is as close to blood that we're really going to get. And what I'm going to do is I want to darken it up so it looks kind of like dry blood. So into this little container right here, we're going to add some of the Anastasia Dip Brow in Ebony, and I'm just going to grab some with my nail, a little bit, like literally that much. You don't need a lot. And you're just going to mix it all together. And if you need more red, just go ahead and grab more red onto the little thing. All I'm doing is mixing it all in together. And I'm going to just use that right here. And since this is kind of like a liquidy consistency, it kind of gives off like a little shine in the light, and which makes it look a lot more real in my opinion. If you mess up a little bit, just remember that you have that foundation brush, and just grab a little bit more foundation and just dab onto it. The areas that you applied way too much of the shade. I'm going to add a little bit more red just so we can get this to look a lot more red. And I'm going to be adding this onto my lower lash line. And kind of like just bringing it a little down and making it look like blood a little. Just blend it with your fingernails or anything that you have. It does not have to be precise. So I want to add a little bit more of red, so I'm just going to grab the brush and, the blush, and just kind of dab it.
Alright, so guys, this is basically just, you just really have to play around with these three shades: black, dark red, and if you want to add brown, and all you have to do is, as I said, play around with the colors, see what you like, see where you want to put it, and honestly, just have fun with this makeup look. That's really all I have to say.
I feel like this is perfect enough for now. If you want to keep perfecting it, you can go right ahead and do that, but what I'm going to just do is I'm going to add the mouth. And since it kind of, if you can see, kind of got a little crusty, I'm going to go back in with a brush and just blend it. And this time I'm going to set it with that loose powder that we used earlier on our eyelids. Outline my mouth with the Dip Brow in Ebony by Anastasia because I don't use anything else for my eyebrows. And what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to go above my lip because my lip is very prominent, so I don't really, you'll see. I created, if you can see, I sort of created like a little curve right here. This part does not have to be perfect at all. And I'll just do the other side. All we're going to do is connect these lines. This one, we're going to bring it down like this. So with a white liner, I'm going to go ahead and draw, actually, you know what? I'm going to go in with my black liner and I'm just going to fill this whole thing in. By the way, you don't have to use a black liner. You can go ahead and just order body paint from Amazon. It's really cheap. Okay, so we're going to draw the teeth in, and for the teeth I'm going to use a white liner. I really hope I don't mess up because...
So, all I'm doing here is basically just drawing triangles as teeth, and I'm going to be drawing this throughout the entire mouth area. So, I didn't really film all of it just because I felt like this was very self-explanatory, and yeah. And when you start filling them in, they're gonna be looking a little bit better, but if some of the teeth come out a little bigger, don't worry about it. We're gonna split them in half to make it look like we have more teeth in later. With the Sharpie, I use that to darken up the edges of my mouth, and with the consistent we made earlier, I'm gonna be making the nose. With any yellow shade that you have, it doesn't matter what you use, you're gonna add, well, I added this onto the teeth to make it look a little bit more dirtier and not so white. And honestly, I didn't really like how the bottom part of my mouth was looking, so what I ended up doing was getting a makeup wipe and removing um half of, not really half, but like a good portion of the bottom teeth, and it looked so much better in my opinion. What I'm also going to be doing is adding that red onto the teeth to make it look more realistic. I don't know. I feel like it looked a lot better like this. So that's what I did. In this clip, I used on the tops of my lip because I was getting a little oily. I used that loose powder and I added the black liner to look as if it was a lip. And if you can kind of tell, I was cutting the teeth in half as I said earlier. One of the very final steps was to get that red consistent we made earlier and just add it to the bottoms of my mouth as if it was continuing from that triangle that we made. Now I added my eyelashes and I added my one contact because yes, I did lose the other one, but I am buying more, so voila, we're done. Ah.
If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what I could perfect. Give me some video recommendations for Halloween. I'll see you guys in my next video, and